Mums with Hustle podcast, episode 480.
Welcome to the Mums with Hustle podcast, where you'll discover everyday mum entrepreneurs killing it in their industry. Learn the secrets you can replicate to create your own success with your host, Tracy Harris.
So I was walking along the path of our local bike track in Australia just the other day. And, well, at the time of this recording, I was in Australia just the other day. Now I'm in Bali, but this whole podcast could be called Keeping Up with Tracy Harris or Where in the World is Tracy Harris? Remember that game? Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Diego. Did I say Diogo? Diego. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Let's bring it back. I was walking along this beautiful path in nature, close to home in Australia, very, very recently. And my boys were riding their bikes. Now, for context, it was our travel day back to Bali. And it was about 11 a.m. It was a Monday. And I glanced down at my watch to see how I was going with my steps. I love walking and trying to get in as many steps as possible on a travel day because I know I'm just going to be sitting on my butt for 6 hours plus. So anyway, I was out there doing my walk. Kids were riding the bike. It was just so beautiful. 11 a.m. on a Monday, and I got my kids with me. Oh, it's delicious. Anyway, I hadn't done any work on this day because, like I said, it was our travel day. And so I kind of took this day off from the business. And yet, as I looked down at my watch and realized that it was 11 a.m., I then also realized, hang on a second, I've also made $8,000 today so far. In addition to all the recurring revenue that I have in my business, I've made an additional $8,000 just since waking up this morning and doing nothing. And like, I've been growing this amazing business for 10 years, and I have to stop sometimes and I have to just take stock of how cool that is. While I walked, while I lived, while I went about my day, that moment, it just reminded me that this is what a freedom-filled business is. And I just want more women to know that it is even possible, that it exists. But here's the thing, this is not luck. And it didn't happen by accident. It is the result of strategic decisions, courageous decisions. It is the result of systems and service over time. And I just feel like not enough coaches, mentors, gurus on the internet really share that with you, that it stacks over time. So I wanted to hop on this week's episode and just share with you the 5 steps that actually make this possible. That is the freedom-filled business flow. What makes it possible? So step 1 is that you do need to intentionally build a magnetic audience that wants what you have to offer. There is no point in having an audience of people that are not the right fit for your programs and offers. You cannot make sales without people. But like I said, not just any people. It needs to be the right people. It's an audience that sees you as a trusted guide. And you have to build that. You have to learn how to build that. You have to learn and understand the power of consistent and conversion storytelling. You need to learn and understand what it means to create content with purpose and strategy. You need to show your values in your content that builds a community of people that are values aligned, and you need to show that you do get results. You get results for yourself and for others. Because your audience doesn't just follow you, they are also feeling deeply connected to your mission. So that's the first thing. You've got to build this magnetic audience that is the right fit for your offer. Number 2, you need to create products that serve on repeat, even when you are offline, even when you are taking the kids on a bike ride or about to board an aeroplane or having a day off or watching the kids at the swimming carnival, wherever you might be. You need to create products that serve on repeat. So this is where leveraged offers come in. And I want you to think online courses, online memberships, digital resources. You aren't trading time for money with these things. You're creating transformation at scale. And this is what I teach my women inside of my Freedom Filled Business mentorship. They're either creating their first or their next digital offer in a more time leveraged way. And this is the sort of offer or offers that I sold that morning on a Monday by 11 a.m., walking with my kids, looking down at my watch and seeing that I'd made $8,000 just in that morning because my offers and my marketing and my messaging do the work for me, even when I don't. And that is incredibly freedom filled. It is like my mind still bends that this is a thing. Number 3 is to establish buyer trust through proof and presence, because people buy when they know you, when they trust you, and when they believe that you get results, not just for yourself, but for other people as well. So this happens through storytelling, your own story, the stories of others, through sharing client wins, member wins, student wins, and content that shows your credibility, not just your fun personality. Because you're not just building a brand, you are also building belief in you. If people don't know that they can count on you because they don't see you leading the way, and I mean, if you're selling freedom, but you're showing up looking anything but free, it creates this dis-ease and this distrust. Like, it's an energy. People can feel it and sense it. And in a world where it feels like every man and his dog has an online business, it becomes really confusing and frustrating for people to figure out, like, who's the real deal from who's the rookie and the wannabe, you know? So you showing up and telling these stories, celebrating these client wins, and creating purposeful content that is proof is building this belief in you as well. Number 4 is to design a smooth sales and onboarding flow that supports the buyer journey. This means there's no friction. There's no confusion. When people are ready to buy, they should just be guided smoothly into your world. Maybe they just send an email and then there's either someone on your team or it's you and you respond, and there's a way for this person to purchase and just come in effortlessly, and there's onboarding processes. These take time to build. Like learning how to onboard people into your course or your membership or your mastermind or your coaching offer. These are assets that you have to learn what goes into them, and then you have to build these. You have to slow down to put these things into place. You have to go through and test your customer journey. But again, these are some of the focus areas and the new learnings of building a business like this. And it's some of the stuff that I support my ladies in Freedom Filled Business with doing this as well, because you don't even know what you don't know, and you can fast track yourself when you get support. If someone comes to you from the DMs to a sales page to onboarding emails, or if someone sends in an email and they're like, tell me more about this program, or I'm wondering if this thing is good for me, or I'm wondering if you can tell me, is now the right time for me to be stepping into this? Like, you've got to be able to lead those people through a seamless sales experience. And that's a process. And then onboarding them, that's a process. But we've got to learn about these things, build these things, test these things, refine and optimize these things. And so it takes time. This is success over time. But a well-oiled onboarding experience means that your business runs while you're at the airport, or while you're in the sky, or while you're taking a nap, or while you're at playgroup on a Tuesday, whatever's going on. Number 5 is to operate like the CEO of a real business and ditch the hobby behavior, because some people are out there saying that they're the CEO of their business, but they're operating like it's a hobby. We can't operate like that. Our behavior, our attitude, the way that we talk, the way that we make decisions, it needs to match what we say we are, because freedom doesn't come from chaos and overwhelm and guessing our way forward. It comes from structure. And this includes email systems, launch plans that work, automated sequences, team support, like I said, onboarding, sales systems and processes, and a mindset that this is not a side hustle. We slow down, we build the things, we do the work, we do the reps, we get the results. Because your freedom is a byproduct of your responsibility and design. It is not a byproduct of luck. And it can be really harder in some seasons than in others. You know, when your kids are really little, I remember when my boys were babies, or when I first had the one, and I felt like I was breastfeeding all the time because I was. And then, you know, doing that whilst being pregnant with the second, having hubby at work, like that was the reality, which I feel is the reality and the norm for most people. But building a business in that stage can feel really difficult, and it can feel slow and tedious, and we can be impatient and want to be way further ahead. But we've got to take stock of where we are and just little by little build the next thing and just keep moving forward and know that it's all adding up to creating this freedom-filled business. So you might be working the late nights. You might be manually onboarding clients. You might be still creating one-on-one offers and one-on-one services, because maybe up to now, that's been the only way that you know how to make money in your business. But I want you to know that it's not the only way. You can build this. You can build this sort of freedom-filled business. I did, and if I can go for a walk with my kids on a Monday and have sales rolling in, then you can. You can too. But you got to start with the belief that this kind of freedom-filled business exists. Then the belief that this kind of freedom-filled business can exist for someone like you. Then build the strategic pieces, which is the offer, the audience. It is the offer. It is the systems and the self-trust to support it. So if you are someone in that season of wanting to go from selling your services, or maybe you're a practitioner, I help lots of practitioners as well, or coaches that have been doing one-on-one, and therapists, maybe you want to step into creating a more time leveraged, money leveraged, one-to-many offer. Go and check out my Freedom Filled Business mentorship, freedomfilledbusiness.com, and you can learn more about it. You can even join us there. Or you can just send us an email, hello@mumswithhustle.com, and you can send me an email and just tell me that you're interested, ask me your questions, and I'll write back to you and let you know how we can help. But this sort of freedom, it exists and it feels really good. And I hope that me sharing this with you helps to plant it in your awareness, more front and more center, not just as something that is available for people like me, but is available for a woman like you. It's time to do the work, do the reps, and then reap the rewards. So thank you for joining me on this week's episode. I hope you loved it, and I can't wait to hear from you. I'll see you here next week on the Mums with Hustle podcast.